Welcome in, I'm Artress, and in this video we're going to be revisiting OP13 Red Black Sabo now that he has a couple of new pieces of support since the last time we visited him. I've been playing against this leader in the sim in the EBO3 meta, and I've been getting my butt kicked, and so as a result I wanted to take a stab at this deck and see if I can understand what it's doing, and also if I even enjoy it, maybe take it to a larger event like Pomona coming up pretty soon. But before we go into the deck list and into any gameplay, if you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit that sub button and give the video a thumbs up. It helps out the channel so much. Thank you all for the support. Additionally, if you like to talk about the One Piece card game outside of the YouTube comments, make sure to join the Discord community. The link for that is in the description below. So starting off with this leader, he says if you have 4 or more life cards, give this leader minus 1,000 power, and Dawn times 1 if you have a character with a cost of 8 or more, all of your characters and leader gain 1,000 power. He's also a 5 life leader in dual colors, which is something we don't see very often. Now, if he was a 4 life leader and had that first part of the stipulation of minus 1,000 power, he definitely would be a lot worse, but because you are allowing yourself to take the first couple of hits, get a little bit of a hand size in the meantime, and find the pieces you need, this leader actually works out really well with that ability. And of course, the second part of the ability we have seen before in other decks, more specifically with OP01 Red Zoro, being able to put a Dawn underneath your leader and then buff your entire side of the board by 1,000 power is pretty nice. But what Sabo does is he also buffs himself and also his side of the board for an entire turn cycle, meaning that your opponent has to swing a little bit different math in order to try to get past you. With that being said, this deck is very much all about finding your combo pieces, so we are running a lot of searchers, and I will go over a deck list variation and maybe some changes at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, right now we have 4 Bello Betty, just looking at the top 5 of the deck and revealing 1 Rev Army type card. Other than Bello Betty, you add it to your hand, place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Then we have 4 Garp, which says if your leader is Luffy, Sabo, or Ace, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 with the cost of 3 or more and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. This one is more specifically trying to find pieces like the 9 cost Stussy and the 10 cost Roger. Then I'm running 2 of the 8 cost Rush Dragon. I really like applying pressure with this deck, and if you have a really large board already established, this is a great way to really just overwhelm your opponent. Of course, I mentioned Roger. This is a great win condition against a lot of decks that like to block her up in the late game, so your opponent can never really go down to 0 without feeling the threat of a potential Roger coming out the next turn. Then I'm running 4 of the Koala from OP12 that says if your leader has the Rev Army type, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and reveal up to 1 Nico Robin or Rev Army type card other than Koala and add it to your hand, then trash the rest. This one is probably one of the more cuttable searchers, but I do enjoy it because it does put cards into the trash that you can actually get back out with the 8 cost Black Dragon. Now, a new addition to the deck is the 4 cost 5,000 power Koala. If your leader has the Rev Army type, this character gains plus 4 cost, and on opponent's turn on KO, play up to 1 character with a cost of 6 or less with the name Nico Robin or with the Rev Army type other than Koala from your hand or trash. So with that, you have a lot of options, which we'll go over right now. We do have probably one of the worst options you can run out of this is the 4 cost 5,000 2K Morally. Just says if your leader includes Rev Army in its types, this character gains plus 4 cost. I'm hardly ever playing this out, to be quite honest. Then the other new addition that we got was the promo Sabo. It's a 4 cost 6,000 power blocker. It says if your leader has the Rev Army type, this character gains blocker and plus 4 cost, and on play, you may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand, give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. Now with this card, this is a great way to stop the starve method against Red Black Sabo. I've noticed, and I do it myself, a lot of people will just not attack into Sabo for the first couple of turns, keeping him at a reduced power so he doesn't swing as hard. Once he starts establishing his board with the 6 cost Sabo, he doesn't hit nearly as hard if he's at the 5 or 4 life threshold. This card is a key piece that I try to find very early on to be able to get you to 3 life as quick as possible so that you're able to get the full effect of your leader. I'm running 3 Hack, a 6 cost 7,000 power 2K, just a Rev Army so you can search it out. Then the other really key piece to this deck is the 6 cost 7,000 power Sabo blocker. Activate main once per turn. Up to 1 of your characters gains plus 2 cost until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader. This is basically the main piece of the deck that you're looking for. This card will allow you to play stuff on curve and then put Dawn underneath your leader, buff itself by plus 2 cost, hitting your leader stipulation of having an 8 cost on the field, so then everything gets plus 1,000 power. And on top of this, it's an 8k blocker once that hits, so it's really hard to swing past just naturally, and then you have an 8k blocker to help facilitate your defenses. Then I'm running 4 of the Sabo 2k from PRB02. Just if you have 15 or more cards in your trash, give this card minus 3 cost in your hand. you're typically not going to get to 15 in trash, but this is still a solid blocker to put into the deck, and it's also searchable because it is Rev Army. I mentioned the Black Dragon. This is an on play. You may place 3 Rev Army type cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. If your leader is Rev Army, play up to 1 character card with a cost of 6 or less from your trash. So oftentimes, if this 6 cost Sabo does go down pretty early, or your opponent finds a way to get rid of it, or you've just managed to pitch it or get it into the trash, you can bring it back pretty easily with this 8 cost dragon. Now, usually I like to play the red dragon instead on my 8 Dawn turn because I want to hit as hard and fast as possible. But this dragon is also a really solid setup play if you don't have the red dragon quite yet. And then the following turn, hopefully you can find the red dragon and then swing in with all of your units at that point. Then I'm running 2 of the 9 cost Stussy. This is just a really solid removal tool for a lot of decks that go tall. With the amount of searchers that you're playing down, you don't mind using the effect of placing one of your characters in the trash, especially when it is a 1 cost searcher that's already done its job. So you're getting really good value out of that. This card is going to help you win your ace matchup quite handily because of the fact that you can just get rid of their new gates really easily. So Stussy is definitely an MVP in this deck for certain matchups. Now, when you think of black, usually you're thinking of removal, and this deck doesn't really have removal per se. So Stussy is your only tool for removal. If you can find her, I would definitely hold on to her. Now, it is not searchable by anything else in the deck besides the Garp, so use your Garp searches wisely. Then I'm running 2 of the 0 cost Bad Manners Kick Course. We are running quite a lot of bricks in this deck, and so you will find yourself at times needing counter, and the 0 cost event helps you with that. Speaking of counter, I'm running a playset of Waxing Fist. This is basically Rad Beam for Rev Army. Just up to 1 of your leader or character cards gains plus 2,000 power during this battle. Then if you have a Rev Army type character with a cost of 8 or more, this card gains an additional plus 2,000 power. So you get a +4 for 1, really great value there. And then the trigger is draw 1 card, then trash the top card of your deck. Sometimes that comes up. Most of the time though, I want to keep this in my hand. And then finally, I'm running 4 of the Rev Army General Headquarters. This is your final searcher here. It's a 1 cost stage that you can trash 1 card from your hand and rest this stage. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Rev Army type and add it to your hand, then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. This is just a really great way to fill up your trash for like the Black Dragon or even the Black Sabo blocker. With that in mind, this also helps you just cycle through your deck really quickly, finding the pieces that you need because of the core. Because as I mentioned when we first started off, you do have a lot of combo pieces that you're looking for. With this deck, you find yourself wanting to go second most of the time, and so your curve is very specifically 4, 6, 8. And of course, if you aren't able to find those pieces on 4, 6, 8, you do have a much harder time with this deck. And so things like Rev Army Headquarters or any of your searchers really help you fit that curve quite easily. As mentioned, we'll go over the changes to the deck list at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, though, I think this list is pretty solid. So let's take this into the sim and see how it does. All right, into Mihawk. The opponent chose to go first. That's what they like to do. I want to go second, so I'm happy with this. Our hand's actually pretty good because we have 3 searchers here. We have plenty of opportunities to find the pieces that we need. And what we are looking for is the 4 cost Sabo. There he is. We'll go ahead and grab that. Getting rid of a Rev Army headquarters sucks. We'll go ahead and grab the 8 cost Dragon. We are set up for the next couple turns. We have our 4, 6, and 8. A 2 and a 1, and we also have a Stussy ready to go to get rid of any kind of threats they might have. So I'm pretty happy with this opening. We will hopefully take this hit. Hopefully they'll swing here. Now, they could swing 4 with the Perona and swing 5 with lead, and that would suck. If that's the case, then what I'm going to have to do is give them a 1K on the Perona swing. There he is. Okay, so we'll give him the 1K. We'll definitely take the 5 here. I don't want to give him a 2K out of nowhere. We'll go ahead and use the Sabo effect, and then we will swing the Garp into the Perona, get rid of the Perona, and then we'll swing 7 into lead here. This will likely connect, and then we'll pass from there. Now, at 5, they have a couple of options. They could play out the, I was going to say, Perona or the Tashigi. Carrot it is. Carrot's not really a problem for the most part because our units are all 8 or higher. 8 into 6, we'll take that one, and then what we can do here is play out the Sabo. We'll then use the Sabo effect. We'll swing the Koala into the Perona, get rid of that thing. Swing 7 into lead. They don't have stage, so it's a little bit harder for them to get, rest things. They're taking these 7s. They are either bricked up or whatever. We're playing fast. We know what's going on. We know what our decks are doing here. Another carrot comes down. I thought maybe it was going to be a 7 cost Shanks. If it was a 7 cost Shanks, we would definitely be in a little bit of trouble, or at least an annoyance, less so a trouble. Here, I'll give them a 1K, and if they want to rest the carrot, That's fine. We'll just free block this one since they don't want to rest the carrot. Totally understandable. We'll go ahead and then play the dragon out. Swing 7 into lead. I am not afraid of dying here. We have a lot of counter in hand. I'll swing 8 into lead. They are going to give us, hopefully... Oh gosh, they took that one? The game might be over right now. Oh my gosh. Okay, so maybe not. Spider's Web is a little bit different, so a little harder to lethal, so let's go ahead and just get rid of the carrot. And then 10 into 7 here. This will likely be a counter event, so it is the Dead Man's Game plus a 1k counter. They do stay alive here. They're going to 9 Dawn, and I look at my board. It's insane. This board is crazy. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and play out the 9-cost Mihawk, preventing the 8-cost dragon from swinging. That's fine. We do have a Stussy ready to go to get rid of the 9-cost Mihawk. I might want to use it this next turn. Depends on our draw, of course. They're going to go ahead and swing 6 into lead. I will go ahead and give them a 1k for this one. And then if they want to swing, I was going to say 8. We'll take it. 7. I think 7 into lead. I'll probably just give them a 2k here. If they swing into a body, of course, we're just going to let the body... or not let the body go. We're going to protect the body. 7 into 7, I'll give them a 2k here. And then I will go ahead and just, it's a no-brainer. We're going to play the Stussy, get rid of the Mihawk, use the effect here to put a Dawn underneath our leader, swing 7 into lead. Okay, they give us a Dead Man's Game. We'll swing another 7 into lead. They give us 2 and a 1 and then 9 into lead here. Put him down to 0, and then I can't swing the dragon, but that's okay. It's not a problem. They're at 0 if they do play Law and Beppo, which they have. It's pretty much over at this point because of the fact that they are open and we have a dragon ready to go. I mean, I can protect this one. They realize it. They're bricked up, and we were just applying so much pressure so fast that game. GP Luffy's a little bit scary here because if they go fast and wide, I don't know if we can race them well enough. We just have to really play our game as best as possible. We're going to go ahead and just grab this Sabo off the Rev Army headquarters search. One thing to note is they do have the Nico Robin 2k counter. I think it's a 2k counter. It's a green Nico Robin that you can rest a Dawn and then prevent one of your Straw Hats from being removed from the field. We don't really have too much removal. I say that with a Stussy in hand. But usually we don't have too much removal to worry about for them anyway, so it's okay. Let's just go ahead and swing 7 into lead here. We don't really have much to do. I'm going to keep the Waxing Fist because I do think these are important in hand right now. We can always use them or pitch them later to the HQ. This next turn, what we can do, hopefully we take a hit from them. I don't want them to swing with the Nami that they played the turn before. They're going to grab an Uso Hachi, that's fine. They can't rest anything with that anyway. Looks like they're not going to swing with the Nami, that's good for us. They probably are just going to swing 6 into lead with their leader. We'll take that one. We'll play the 4-cost Sabo. We'll see what we get off of the life, plus also draw, and then pitch something to HQ. Go ahead and just take the 5 here. I think we pitched the Koala. I'm going to be honest, this Koala is a nice addition to the deck, but I find myself pitching the Koala more often than not. I think Bello Betty, just to find a 6-cost Sabo or a potential 6-cost Sabo is good. That's not the 6-cost Sabo I was wanting, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and grab it. We'll swing 7 into lead here, and I will assume that they will take this one. Usually, green-purple Luffy goes down to 2. Their hand's looking pretty big. There's nothing we can really do about that. We don't run pudding in this deck, so it is what it is. Hopefully, we can find in the next turn the 6-cost Sabo. I think that'd be pretty important. They didn't play Sanji and Pudding on curve, which is actually very important for us to note. That's a card that they want to play on curve here. We're just going to go ahead and take this. We're searching for cards. We're going to use the Waxing Fist effect here. Let's go ahead and pitch the 4-cost. There he is. About time. 6-cost Sabo comes down. We'll go ahead and use the effect, put it down underneath their leader, and we'll swing 7 into lead. They did not use their leader effects. They are not a 6k leader. So these hits actually hurt for a lot, which usually they don't want to use their leader effect until Sanji and Pudding's on the field anyway. So we're going to take advantage of this for them being tapped out, plus also not a 6k leader. Really good for us here. Now, if they do have a Dead Man's Game, that could be a problem. They are pitching cards left and right. That's good for us to see that, a 2 and a 1 in a 0-cost event. So one of those is the 6-cost Restand Luffy, which is definitely their game finisher. Nice to see them pitch it, but it also means they probably have another one in hand. Usually, if you're pitching one of your best cards in the deck, it means you got another one ready to go. So down comes a 5-cost, 7,000 power Sanji that restands 2 with a Sanji and Pudding coming out on the field. They are going extra wide here. Unfortunate to see for us. It is what it is, though. We just have to deal with it. They might want to swing 7 and then like an 8. I will free block the 7, and then I can counter out of the 8. We'll free block a 7. And there's the 8. I think we just give them a Waxing Fist because we should use it while we can. And then this next turn, I think we're comfortable enough to go ahead and get rid of the Sanji and Pudding. And then I'm going to go ahead and swing 7 into 6, kind of forced them to lose more cards out of hand. Really awkward for them to have to deal with this because of the fact that they don't have too many cards right now. They lost a lot of cards in the past turn. So we're just going to go ahead and swing really hard, 8 into 6. If they have a Dead Man's Game, which there it was, they don't have it anymore. So now that our blocker's rested, we don't have to worry about it. But we also have a lot of counter in hand as well. So we're pretty good right now. They're going to go ahead and play another Sanjin Pudding. That's Sanjin Pudding number 2. Use their leader effect, Sanjin Pudding number 3. If they saw this a turn earlier, I would actually be a lot more worried than we are. I think that we're in a pretty good spot, all things considered. 7 into 6, I'll go ahead and give them a 2K. If they want to go 7 into 6, they're tapping out. Okay, that's insane. Usually you want to leave one open for Gum Gum Giant. So yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Sanji, the green one does that. I forgot it restands a Dawn at the end of the turn. Let's just swing 10 into lead here. We're going to go ahead and use a Dawn underneath our leader. The 10 into lead means that they have to use the Giant, which you can see. They did have Dead Man's Game ready to go. So we're just trying to get all these cards out of hand, and a Nami as well. Another 10 into lead should usually crack this last life. What we can do here is swing 8 into 6. Really awkward for them. They did have a 2 and a 1, but they would not be able to get out of the last Sabo swing. So we actually applied a lot of aggression, and we were lucky that they saw Sanjin Pudding one turn later than usual. Into Red Green Luffy. I don't really know this matchup too well, to be quite honest, but I think taking second's always a good thing. As Sabo, we have a lot of searchers, so we're going to try to find our pieces here. 2K Sabo is not it. 6K, or 6 cost Sabo rather, is it, so that's fine. At least we have something on 6. Maybe we can draw into the 4 cost blocker Sabo. That's my favorite card on 4. We do have the Koala. It is a solid card, but I typically find myself wanting to find my pieces as opposed to playing this Koala down instead. I probably should play it, but I'm going to go ahead and play the Bello Betty, grab the A-Cost Dragon, play the Elo Betty, grab the HQ, play the HQ to pitch the Koala. I guess we could grab Waxing Fist, I think is probably our best bet here, and then pass the turn. There's really no point in swinging. They will just use their leader effect here, which is one of the powers of Red Green Luffy. Green Sanji comes down, we'll take that hit, then we are online. We're no longer minus 1,000 power. We'll go ahead and pitch the Sabo. I guess we'll grab a Sabo. We'll play out the 6 cost Sabo. Then we'll put a Dawn underneath their leader. We could swing just to see if they're awake, but I mean, they're just going to use their leader effect here. Yep, as expected. We do have a blocker to be able to stop the 7 cost or 7,000 power Sanji. Here comes the other one. They're going as wide as possible very fast. Let's just free block this one. Might as well. 6 in the lead here. I'll go ahead and give them the Garp. And then okay, they're leaving 5 open. That's pretty good here. We'll go ahead and then just, I guess, grab the 8 cost Dragon. Let's go ahead and play the 8 cost Dragon. And then I think what we can do is then play out the Sabo. We don't really need to take life here. We'll go ahead and use the Sabo effect to put a Dawn underneath their leader. We'll swing 7 into lead, just see once again if they're awake. Pass the turn. I always give them the option. It's kind of like with the Shanks ability. You know they're probably going to use it, but you should still swing regardless just because it's a good thing to do. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and play the Usopp. Usopp's really annoying to deal with because Usopp restands Dawn at the end of every turn. They're going to get the 6 cost Luffy, and then they're probably just going to go ahead and swing. The reason I didn't swing the Sabo is because they had Dawn open, so it's also good because we can block these things for free. So we'll block the 7 and 8 into lead. We'll go ahead and take this one, and if they want to go ahead and give us another 8 into lead, well, they don't. I'm just going to go block this one, 2K. I could have just given them a 2K anyway, but it's fine. It is what it is. Here, I'm going to go ahead and HQ the HQ away. I guess I could grab a 2K. Probably is better here. We'll go ahead and play the Dragon. Use the Dragon effect to put Dawn underneath their leader. Swing 9 into lead. Now, these hits, they're going to have to use. They're not going to want to use them. Okay, good for us. I was going to say they're going to have to use their leader ability, but they're not going to. They're probably going to use it on this one. 9 into 9. They'll use a 1K on top of that. Since they are using their leader effect, let's start swinging with everything here. Let's swing a 7, see if we can get 2 out of the way. It's a leader effect plus a 1K. That's really good for us as well. Now, what do we do here? 11 into a potential Sanji or leader could also be good, but I think 11 into lead's fine. Get him down to 2 life here. I think we just want to kind of race him as best as possible. There's no reason for me to swing the Sabo once again because of the fact that, well, they would have been able to use their leader ability, so okay. Well, they're going to rest my stuff anyway with the Nami. That is an annoyance, of course. They're going to go 7 into lead with the Usopp. We'll give them a 2K. We'll give them another 2K, and then another 2K. And then I think we might want to take this one. I don't want to give them too many 2Ks. It is an annoyance, of course, but it is what it is. We're playing fast. We're going hard here. we know exactly what we're doing. Oh, what a great card to see. Let's go ahead and grab another 2K here. We'll go ahead and play the dragon out, use the dragon ability, use the Sabo ability here, and then swing 9 into lead. This should be a leader ability, which would be 3. They're just going to go ahead and give 2 and then a 1K. Okay, good to see there. We'll go 9 into the Usopp, see if they let that go. Okay, well, they're going to go ahead and Charleston to re-stand stuff and protect the Usopp. Pretty solid. 10 into 5. They might want to block this one, but they're probably going to let this one go, to be quite honest. They let that. Okay, they actually protect that one. Let's go 7 into lead. Since they are tapped out, we can take advantage of this. Let's go 10 into 7. They might block this one with the Nami, yeah, as expected. And let's go 9 into 7. This one should go down. Here is where if they have Dead Man's Game, we could be in some trouble. But I think because we have Waxing Fist and we have 2 2Ks and a 1K, I don't think they're going to be able to crack through. I'm confident that we should be able to survive this. Okay, 10 into 6. I think based off of that, I think I go ahead and just give them a +4 and a 1K. And if they want to go pretty big with the Sanji, okay, 9 into 6. I'm just going to go ahead and give them 2 2Ks here, saying that they cannot close out the game. If they want, they have to go for one of the bodies on the field. 6 in a lead. We'll go ahead and take that one. They don't have any rush units here, so that's good for us. Oh, that Roger would have been nice if they would block it up. Unfortunately, they did not. Let's go ahead and put a Dawn underneath their leader so we can go ahead and get optimal swings here. So we'll go 9 into 5. They take that one. 11 into 5 here. They probably have Charleston in hand, which is going to be really annoying. So they go plus, yep, Charleston. Let's go another 11 into lead. This one will have to be all of their Dawn plus a whatever's in their hand. And then we can just close out the game 7 into 5 and then just put the rest on. And swing in 15 to 5. Yeah, we were playing pretty quickly, but of course, that's kind of how you have to do it. You have to swing large, force them to use their leader ability, and then close out once they are tapped out. The menace of the meta, Blue Yellow Nami. They choose to go first, so we're going to go second here. We have a pretty solid curve, so I'm going to keep the hand. We do need to find a 4 cost, which there is one, but we can't grab it because we cannot grab Koala. So unfortunately, we can't grab anything here. Rather unlucky. It is what it is. This next turn, they probably are going to play Girl, put it on underneath their leader, and then swing 7 into lead. We'll just take that one. We have to be very aware that pudding is a thing, so we could get puddinged. We don't want to take too many hits if we don't have to. Unfortunately, for the first 2 hits, we usually have to, though. So they're pitching a Kikunojo, swinging 7. We'll take that one, get their leader ability off to draw. Here, I'll just play the Garp out. I think we can grab a Sabo 2K counter. We'll go ahead and play stage, and I like my hand. I kind of don't want to pitch anything. So let's just go ahead and force them to get rid of a card out of hand. 6 and a 5. They might take it, but they also might just give us their leader ability to go +2. So maybe pitching a brick out of hand here could be a thing. And then the next turn, what we can do is play the 6-cost Sabo. Hopefully we don't get puddinged because I do like my hand once again. So that is a problem. They take it, which usually, I mean, as Nami, I'll take the first hit, admittedly, just because, like, I don't want to go ahead and use my leader ability that early. I like using it usually around turn 3 or more. So anyway, they do have a lot of cards in hand, so this could be a very interesting pudding turn. It's not going to be. It's a Kikunojo. Good for us. Another 7 into us will hurt, of course, but it is unfortunately just how you have to play this. Here, we're going to go ahead and use the Sabo effect to buff it up and then swing 7 into lead here. This is going to be a little bit rough for them. You're going to have to use a leader ability plus a 1K, which that's good for us to get 2 cards out of hand here. Not a problem for them either because they have a lot of cards in hand as well. Now the consideration is, do we use the 1-cost stage to get rid of anything in our hand? I actually don't know. Oh, they're playing the slop version. Oh no. Thriller Bark Pirates version? No. Okay, we're going to get rid of the 0-cost event and we'll just grab another Sabo 2K counter here. We have 7 in hand. We could get puddinged, but I don't really think it's the best pudding. I think usually pudding against a deck that has like 8 or more is the best time to use it. 7 is pretty solid, but I think the most efficient puddings are around anywhere from 8 or beyond. Yeah, they're definitely playing Thriller Bark Pirates, Nami, which I definitely do not like to play against. It is quite the annoyance. It's a really good deck. We'll go ahead and just give them a 2K here. I guess we could have free blocked, but I wanted to empty my hand a little bit. We'll get to free block anyway because of the girl. I forgot that they put Dawn under their leader there. We'll go ahead and pitch out the Sabo, and I guess we could grab a Bello Betty. We're on 8, so I suppose what we could do is play out the dragon. I guess we'll go ahead and get rid of these things, put the Sabo out, get another blocker, take a life. Why not? Go 7 into lead here. Take a life just so that we are able to have 7 in hand to comfortably counter out of some of this stuff. Here will be another leader ability plus a 1k more than likely. I don't think they want to go to 9 in hand next turn because then it's harder for them to get their leader ability off. So yeah, they're just going to pitch things a Kikunojo. And what we're going to do is we're just going to force the Kikunojo to die so that they have less things to swing with this next turn. Yeah, maybe it sucks healing them back up, especially if they are playing Thriller Bark Pirates package, but hey, what are you going to do here? If they want to swing Nico Robin into lead, then I will block and give him a 2k. That hurts. Red Rock definitely hurts. Getting rid of one of the better pieces in my field. They should have swung into it first, though, in my opinion. Okay, Nojiko is a little bit troll because of the fact that, well, the Sabo is an 8 cost. Yeah, it's an 8 cost. That's nice for us. You know, sometimes opponents don't read the cards, and we'll take those. We'll take those any day. Then they'll go 7 into lead more than likely. They could also swing into the Sabo, but yeah, we'll go ahead and give them a 2k here. Just dumping our hand as best as possible. Are we scared? Dragon's perfect. We are no longer scared, but I'm going to go ahead and play Stussy, get rid of the Robin. I don't mind losing a life here. It's all right. It's not the biggest deal in the world. We'll go ahead and swing 7 into lead. Because the Robin was their only threat, they don't have a bigger board outside of that. I'm actually not really worried too much. I say that, and they might get a lot of triggers here, but if they do, so be it. We should still be okay. No trigger? Okay, a trigger, it happens. Oh well. The trigger Kumasi being able to get a Thriller Bark Pirates character card onto the field rested. Hogback's not worth swinging into because they could just replace the Hogback with whatever's in their trash. Here they'll play the 1 cost Will You Be My Servant event to be able to grab something that is 2 cost to 8 cost, which is a lot of things. Young Girl is one of them. Probably not the best option though. Here is another Nico Robin to go up to 4. And they'll probably swing 6 and then 7. Haha, I said it. So we'll probably then free block and then give them a 2k. That could be something. We have a lot of options here. Okay, another Young Girl just to dig a little bit deeper and then have 2 Dawn that they can float around with. So they'll probably put 1 underneath their Nami and then 1 underneath the Hogback. So go 6/6. I'll give them a 1k counter here. And if they want to go with the other Hogback, they don't. I could have free blocked, I suppose. We'll go ahead and grab... Ooh, this is a tough one. Waxing Fist is probably our best bet because it is a solid defensive option. We'll go ahead and grab another Sabo. And I think because of the fact that we need this Sabo more than playing out a dragon, I think we're going to go ahead and play this one. We'll go 7 into lead. Our hand is looking fine. Enough to survive at least. And our board is looking pretty good as well. 7s is pretty good. 7s and 9s are always going to be really painful against a Nami, or specifically for them. So we'll swing another 7 here because we do have the other Sabo blocker up. Just try to get as many cards out of their hand as possible. They take that one. I'm really surprised. I thought they would have given us a 1k there, but I'm glad that they took that one. I'm not glad that they took that one. Seeing the trigger, I'm not glad that they took that one. I take it back. I take it back. A Kikunojo really hurts. Okay, so 9 into 7. We're committed. We're just going to have to swing. These will likely connect. So, oh gosh, there's the pause. What is it? Another one? No. Is it another Kikunojo? Okay. Well, you know what? I'll just pitch the Roger. I don't think they're going to block her up. See if we can get any counter here, and we do. That's good for us. We'll go ahead and swing 10 into lead. This one will also likely connect if the other 2 did. This one will have to give us 2 2Ks, and I stand corrected. I was going to say, I don't think they want to give us 2 2Ks, but they do. And that's fine. They'll go ahead and use the Will You Be My Servant, grabbing another Nico Robin. Oh my gosh. They are just surviving for days. They can go ahead and use the Young Girl because of the fact that they played the 1 cost event so that they can put that Rested Dawn underneath their leader and get the most use of their board so that they can play the 7 cost Nico Robin on top of the Young Girl, get their leader ability and draw 1. They're going to swing 8 into lead here. I think I'll just take that one because I'm not really too worried. I'm not really worried because I think I can counter out of whatever they have. If they want to start stacking Dawn on the stuff that they have on the field, so be it. Let's go ahead and give them the Waxing Fist here. Force them to use the Nico Robin 7 cost or put Dawn underneath the stuff on the field. They're putting Dawn underneath the stuff on the field. This is actually probably a pretty heads-up play on their part because of the fact that they saw I took that life. Now they can pivot and really start swinging for uncomfortable numbers. We do have counter to be able to get out of it. Unfortunately, it does mean that this Sabo blocker isn't long for this world, but that's okay. I think we can close out with the dragon here, put Dawn underneath our leader, swing 7 into lead with the Sabo. Go ahead and get the leader ability plus a 1k out of their hand, which it looks like they will be doing. Now, how do we do it from here? We'll go ahead. They had pudding. Oof, scary. 9 into lead. I think we're pretty solid there to be able to get that through. The trigger, but do they want to use triggers at this point? It doesn't really benefit them too much. I think anything that they can keep in hand is probably better for them. They're thinking about it hard. They're thinking about it really, really hard. Okay, so I think what we do here is we could potentially swing another 7 with our leader, get 1 card out of hand, then swing Stussy, which is a 10, and then swing the rest on Dragon, which will likely connect unless they have a beige. But whatever this last card is, has me really worried. Why are they holding on to it so steadfast? I'm not entirely sure. They decide not to use it. We'll go ahead and swing 9 into lead. This will be a 2 and a 1 if they have it. They don't. They let it connect. Okay, interesting to see. Please no trigger. Please no trigger. Okay, 9. We'll go 10 into 7 rather. This one, they'll have to give us 2. Oh, they didn't have it. Oh my gosh, we made it through. We got a little bit lucky there, but I guess sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good. So the red side of Sabo is definitely showing here with just how aggressive we were in a lot of those matchups. One thing to note is just don't be afraid to swing with your blockers. They're definitely there for that reason. You should not be holding your blockers back if you don't have to, especially if you don't feel like you're going to be within lethal range anytime soon. As you noticed in a lot of games, the turn after I'm playing my Sabo blockers, I'm swinging with them for the most part. And so I think you should too. I think a lot of people understand that. And I encourage you guys to swing with those as much as possible. They're not going to be removed by anything other than just swinging into them outright, and you have ways to protect them or recur them if you need be. But as you saw in a lot of the matches, they definitely put in a lot of work. So to talk about a couple of the changes I probably would make, I would look to include this 2-cost Koala 2K. It does have a very nice -3,000 power on play if your leader is the Rev Army type. So if you do need to trade into some bodies, this is a really good way to trade into those bodies. And on top of that, this is great fodder for the 9-cost Stussy. Once you play this down, trade into a body, the following turn, you can then play the Stussy and KO this and put this in your trash. Some things to cut would probably be this 1-cost Koala Searcher. I don't think you need 4 of them. And same thing with the 0-cost event, you could potentially cut this down as well, especially if you're adding in the 2-cost Koala 2K. So that's something to keep in mind there. If you really want, you can also add in this 5-cost Sabo from OP04. This is just a great way of filtering your hand, once again filling up the trash. You don't really have to worry too much about your characters being KO'd, but in case you do, this is also protecting them from that as well. And this is a 5-cost 7,000 power blocker with your leader ability, so that's also a very nice plus as well. Now when the EBO4 meta hits, we will be adding in this 7-cost Zoro. We're not quite there just yet, but this card is insane for this deck, and this deck just becomes even stronger in the next set, so I feel a little amiss covering it right now, but it does feel really good at the moment as well. You do have a really rough matchup into Emu. I definitely have noticed that Emu has been showing its head less and less as of late. A lot more yellow decks out there, but of course with a lot of yellow decks rising up, usually that means Emu will eventually show back up in due time. But in the meantime, I think Red Black Sabo has a pretty good matchup against all of the yellow decks out there. He doesn't really care about going down to 0, especially when there are a lot of blockers on his side of the field to prevent himself from being lethal. So yeah, that's Sabo in a nutshell. I think that overall, I wouldn't change too much. Like I said, probably just cut back on some of the searchers, add in a couple of more feasible bodies and a couple of more 2Ks. But overall, I really like this deck, and I might actually consider this for a run at a regional or treasure cup coming up in the next month or so. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Red Black Sabo. Are there any spicy additions that I didn't include in the deck list? Let me know about that as well. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.